Firebomb shook Dubai as sectarian violence mounted. Sorry, that was wrong. Why are we reporting this? No one cares about this kind of stuff anymore. It happens all the time. In more interesting news, we have civil war in Syria, massacre in Nigeria, Russian war against Ukraine, terrorist attack in the Middle East. Who in the universe cares about that? Finally something that everyone wants to know. A student is sentenced to 10,000 hours of detention for drinking a Coke from a Coke bottle. Our correspondent has the story.
Student Muhammad Samsam in the 12th grade was recently caught drinking Coca-Cola from a bottle clearly labeled Coca-Cola. Anything to say? As you can see, the student in question is in shock. Details are not entirely clear, but what I'm able to tell you is that he was sentenced to 10,000 hours of detention for a grave violation of school policy. Obviously, the mistake was neglecting the crucial first step in enjoying a delicious soda at school. Pouring the soda in another bottle, as everyone knows, it is a serious violation of the school's rules to be able to drink soda in an original bottle. This is why they all switched the contents into another opaque bottle before consumption. The school's administration is deeply concerned about the health risks of drinking from clear plastic bottles. In this case, he totally forgot.
It was not even Coke. It was water. Can't you guys recycle in this dictatorship?
I'll just turn it back over to you, Ashraf. As you can see, this is a very disturbing situation. Dina Fidali reporting from ASI.
Yeah, thank you, Dina, for that report. We wish you good luck in calming things down. In other news, a teacher's outburst had disrupted school today. Ms. Hiam El-Khalali was escorted off the premises after a deranged episode in the girls' bathroom. Our correspondent Amin has more of the information.
Good morning. The news just came in from ASI. The ambulance is taking Mrs. Hidadi to the mental facility in Bershid because she is claiming that she hears disembodied voices in the bathroom. She swears people are still using phones inside the school, though such use has been banned. Dr. Trivatan assures her that our innocent students would never disrespect the school rules such a way. Mrs. Hilali continues arguing, saying, quote, kids these days. The counselor intervened and calmed an ambulance, noting that Mrs. Hilali believed that she can sense the wavelengths of a phone and hallucination of voices from the toilet are evidence of possible mental sickness. We will keep you posted on development. Back to you, Ashraf. Thank you.
Thanks for that report. A spontaneous protest for human rights broke out in the lunchroom earlier today. Youssef Sri is on the scene with this report.
Hello. Youssef Sri reporting live from Akhaway School of Isra. Tensions were high as the secondary school staged the protest at lunch here today. Much like famine has left thousands hungry in Somalia. The change in foreign policy preventing students from ordering lunch has left Amil Zawi hungry. Although nearby entities were willing to send humanitarian aid, UN Representative Yusri Bramley enforced an embargo on preventing imports from the neighborhood with delicious food imports. This year portrays students to protest for Amil's human rights, holding signs like these. They declare, I am Zawi and je suis Amil. Protesters declared the hunger strike, refusing to eat until Amil could receive food aid or Michelinsburg gave them cookies. Sources close to the protest reported Mr. Bromley as saying, and I quote, Ishtaq Mamadou. Striker Abdul Alawi claimed, and I quote, I stand with Amin. Personally, I will not eat until he gains access to a decent lunch. Others Michelinburg gave us cookies. No one will say no to those. We will keep a close eye on development as they unfold. Back to you, Ashraf.
Thank you, Yusuf. That's all our report for tomorrow, for this afternoon. Thank God for the event. Thanks me for the news. See you next time on ASIC News.
Right, well, thank you, Rachel. I knew that you're going to be criticizing the school rules today. And in the interest of balance, I'd like to have a chance to defend the policies of the school. So we did a follow-up report on these incidents and uncovered some vital pieces of information over the story that our competition here has overlooked. I take you now to our correspondent on the scene with an exclusive interview.
Yes, thank you, Stephen. I'm here with Mr. Lovely, reporting from the scene of today's protest. So, he says that the embargo on food imports from neighboring lunches has been in place for years, and he was merely filling his role as UN executive. He says he supports the rights of the students to protest, but he claims they are really focusing their energy on the wrong targets. What would you like the students to be working toward, Mr. Bromley?
Thank you, Mr. Hilali. First, I just want to say that every student is within her or her rights to protest the suffering of any other student. It is indeed an injustice when a student goes hungry. But what message do we send when food is supplied by the taxpayers of the Native family, only to be eaten by others? I'm in favor of food aid, but it has to be properly administered. What the students should be demanding is the right to share food, but the access every human deserves to the knowledge required to make a sandwich of his or her own.
So you are calling for sandwich making courses required at school?
That's right. You know the old saying, give a man some of Mrs. Nathan's tagine, and he eats for a day. But teach him how to put a slice of turkey between pieces of bread, and he eats for a lifetime. These are necessary life skills that these underprivileged kids just don't have. Can you imagine these kids, some of them just old enough to drive, and some of them just old enough to vote, being asked to remember to put food in a bag to bring to school? It's a real travesty.
And what about the hunger strike? What do you think of the call to refuse food until Amin gets some tagine, or until Ms. Schillingsburg gives everybody cookies?
Well, you know, that's an important... Wait, did you say Ms. Shakespeare's giving cookies to strikers?
That's right.
Do you know if they're the ones with the Skittle candies in them?
No, reports indicate chocolate chip.
Pardon me, I'm on a hunger strike until the policy of food sharing is I am
Well, thank you, Mr. Bromley. Students directly involved in the protest were unavailable for comments, as they were all locked in the bathrooms, stalls, talking mysteriously to themselves.